Third time's the charm, guys. Hey everyone, welcome to Tranquil Dreams. I'm Kim, as always, the blog owner of Tranquil Dreams. If you don't know what this is, well, Tranquil Dreams is the name of my blog. My blog that focuses on books, reading, travel, pretty much anything lifestyle, cooking, food. I have a bunch of segments that I just started launching as of last year to just expand on the blog and the things that I've been really interested in of late. And of the many things I've wanted to do since I started my gaming podcast with my co-host Elwood Jones, I've always wanted to revive my own channel. So as of January, we've been doing a lot of unboxing, and mostly solely it's unboxing videos. But now we're after 3 months or 4 months or so of nothing going on. I finally decided that it's time to start it back up again. Obviously, I have the worst timing in the world, so this is a decision I made while I'm being super busy at my real job. So, hopefully this isn't going to take too long. These videos generally are going to be about 10 to 15 minutes long. I don't really want to go further than that because it's just, I would like this as much to be a one shot as possible. So what you're here for is What's Up. What's Up is a segment that I started last year. And it's pretty much looking at the things that I'm currently working on. So it could be, so I used to have 3 segments. It would be binging, reading, and playing, which is binging TV series, reading books or novels or whatever, and playing games. This kind of brings together all my projects, and it kind of gives me a chance to kind of talk about the things that are going on in my life and also just a little snippet. So with these videos, it's a little bit, I added 2 extra things. So when there are rewatches, I'm going to talk about a few things that I'm also rewatching and revisiting, and maybe some thoughts on how I feel about them. At the same time, I'm going to do some movie highlights. So I watch a lot of movies over the month. If you really want to see all the movie reviews, you can check them out over on the blog. Everything is going to be in the description below. But I will highlight movies that I've seen this month that really have struck a chord with me. I might do a separate video eventually. I might expand on just the video content that's going to go up. I don't know right now. This is the first one. A lot of things are undecided right now. If you have anything, suggestions or anything you want me to talk about, you can always bring that up. I have a few topics in my mind right now that I kind of want to do outside of What's Up series. For now, this is the solid plan that I have that should go up maybe every 2 weeks or so, just because I have so many things that it's hard for me to really have a very long talk about many things or have a lot to talk about in general. We'll see how things go, and we'll decide on that. So let's kick this off. The What's Up, we're going to start off with the first thing is, as always, I always love to talk about binging. What TV series I've been looking at. This current month has been a lot of binging. I'm actually rewatching a binge right now. I'm rewatching a series of Unfortunate Events, the first season, I mean. Whereas I'm watching that and Gilmore Girls season 7. Both are rewatches. But I have 2 TV binges that I had finished this month, and one is On My Block, the season Netflix originals. Both are Netflix originals. On My Block season 1, which is amazing. It is a really great experience, and I'll talk about what makes it so amazing in my coming post this week. A series of Unfortunate Events season 2 is also the second thing. I love that series. I have to say that I started off one of the few that found season 1 a little rocky. In the first half, it really took a little before it took off to where I wanted it to be and the tone I liked it to be. But season 2 has been really great. It's really highlighted like the second phase of what the Baudelaire orphans are going through, and I'm really excited to talk about that in the next TV binge as well. So after that, TV has been great. I've watched a lot of really amazing things. Those are all coming up really soon. First impressions of everything is that I'm having a lot of fun with what I'm watching. The upcoming thing that I want to watch is going to be released this Friday, and it's one that I've been looking forward to for, I'm not sure if it was a year and a half, and that is the Portuguese Netflix original called 3%. Season 1 blew my mind. I loved it. I binged it in like, I don't know, a few days. I think in like 3 days I finished it or something. And when they announced season 2, I was elated. When they announced the release date, I jotted it down right away. And now we're coming up that it's going to be released on Friday. And while I am super busy with work right now, I am going to try to find time at least next week to watch it once my crazy phase is done. We're gonna put away the TV series now, and let's talk about reading. So in terms of books, I'm currently reading Screams You Hear by James Morris. It is a novella, horror thriller sort of style, I guess. It's really fun so far. There's a lot of mystery, but I also kind of see hints of various little things that I've recently seen in the past year. I don't mind people mixing genres together, and I don't mind that ideas are tossed together and put together, as long as there is an intriguing story behind it. So, I'm not going to talk about that too far. I'm still very much in, like, the first 15%. I just finished the first 15% of the novella, so it should be done in a few days, and hopefully the review will go up very soon as well. After Screams You Hear, I do have a few books that I am committed to finish for May, as part of a blog tour. But before that, I'm hoping that I'm going to get Wayward Sisters anthology, which is a graphic novel anthology by Toronto Comics, done before that. And if I have time, maybe I'm going to also check up Obsidio. I picked that book up right on the week of release, and I was so excited to start it, but then things kind of got out of hand, and I never really got a chance to start it, and it's just kind of sitting there staring at me every day. So I'm really, really looking forward to checking that out. So put that away. We're going to look at games now. In terms of games, I am playing Game Warp's April featured game right now, which is Life is Strange Before the Storm. If people don't know, Life is Strange is the game that kind of started Game Warp, because we were talking about something that me and Elwood could collab together. And as we were talking, we talked about doing a gaming podcast, something that we both really wanted to do, but never really had the co-host to do it. Obviously, we both have a lot of projects and a lot of different things, so this really helped that we were working together. And you know, it's fun to work with someone, and Elwood has become one of my really great friends. We've really gotten to, like, we have a really nice way of working together, and, like, we share responsibilities really, really well. And it's nice that this is, like, a perfect partner to have when it comes to working together on a project. And with that said, of course, that comes to why we built our second podcast recently that was just released last month, and that was Movies and Tea Podcast. So before, I guess, we go into the movie highlights for this time, since I already talked about most of my rewatches, Movies and Tea Podcast is just a quick snippet and a little bit of promo, I guess, is a season-based podcast. Every season we look at a director, and we choose about, depending on the director, it should be 6 to 8 directorial efforts that they've done, and we look at it in chronological order and see how they've progressed and how it's changed and what defines this director as who it is. This current season that's kicking us off is Paul W.S. Anderson, which we think is quite underrated because we are maybe the few people who have appreciated a lot of his work outside of the Resident Evil series, and we both have movies that we haven't seen all of, and we haven't picked up on everything, so it'll be nice time to talk about. We released his first 2 works already, so we talked about Shopping, and we just released last week Mortal Kombat. I'll plug that down below in the description as well. See if you're interested. It's only about a 30 to 40 minute podcast, so it's a quick one that you can pick up and put down. Not a video, just an audio, so you can download it and on the go, whatever you like. Always good. So finally, before we end things, since we're hitting about 10-minute mark now, is to wrap things up is movie highlights. I watched a ton of movies in April. A ton. I mean, I am looking at my Letterboxd right now, and in the first 16 days, which I haven't watched any movies in, as I'm recording this is the 23rd, I haven't watched anything in this last week. So I have watched I have watched 12 movies already this month. One of them is a rewatch, and that's Hairspray. Other than that, there's been a lot of mixing here and there. Mixing here and there. One of them is for movies and tea, which is Mortal Kombat, obviously. But, I mean, I have 3 out of my list that I really, really loved, and I really, really want to highlight, and that is one, I finally caught up with John Wick. Action, fun, the Keanu Reeves I remember, that was the one that I absolutely, like, loved, and I really, really would love to check out the sequel, and hopefully catch up in time and then watch the third one. Next up is 2 that I watched almost together, almost day after the other, and one was Mayhem. I missed Mayhem from Fantasia last year. I kicked myself so hard because I just couldn't fit it in my schedule that I had, but I'm so glad that I got to watch it on Shudder, and it's just this out of control, violent, bloody experience, and Steve Yeun and Samara Weaving are fantastic together. They're so charismatic, they're so fun. The movie is kind of sarcastic humor, but it's just, there's these things that really, really work well, and I loved every single moment of it. Mayhem is something that's so intensely fun to watch that it's just incredible. Like, it is incredible. I had such a blast watching it, and sometimes that's what it is a movie's about, like, the art of everything, and yes, there are some predictable moments, and Mayhem just really goes out of control, and it does it in the best way ever. I haven't seen a movie like that in a really long time. I think that this one finds like this perfect balance of how to get it done. So the third movie that I want to highlight is Newness by Drake Doremus. So within the first 3 months or 4 months of the year, I've already watched 2 of his movies. The previous one I watched was Equals, also with Nicholas Hoult. Newness is about these 2 millennials who get together and they get caught up in this dating app world where things are about keeping it exciting, keeping it fun, and they really come together in that sense. And I honestly think that in many ways, Newness does such a great job. In comparison to Equals, you can see that Drake Doremus has changed so much in the way that he approaches this. And maybe it's just the story and the script is much more mature, even though they're talking about a younger couple. So there's very intimate scenes, and there could be a little bit of, there's a bit of nudity here and there. But I feel that Newness captures this emotion of being a millennial very much. And no matter whether you're going to go through something as extreme as they are, you're going to really be able to capture one of those feelings of being in love. And I think one of those more important things that makes it so raw is that Newness gives these characters a really genuine feeling that what is love, right? What is love? And how do you know if you've fallen in love? How do you know if you love someone? Because when someone asks them, do you love them? They're like, I think I love them. Newness is one that definitely is to check out. I'm actually really interested in checking out Drake Doremus's other works. It seems like he's really into this exploring different aspects of love. And I haven't seen any of his early works, but I've seen some of like the genres that they're in. They're very romantic comedy and all that sort of thing. And in many ways that really like works for me. I've been always trying to find something that balances, like that is able to really grasp these things really well. I've become more and more picky about my romance films that I watch. So to be so into this sort of film and just making a film that is about, you know, as much of a physical excitement as it is about like an emotional connection, I find is a really nice thing. And I actually think that's one of the topics that I do want to talk about eventually. About just films and their balance of love and lust and, you know, like intimate moments and how revealing things are physically can cause those changes. So anyways, that wraps up this What's Up. I know that it's a bit of a mess. I am working on the formula, and I haven't vlogged and I haven't done videos where I'm talking to this camera, so I'm getting a little distracted and a little self-conscious on this. But trust me when I say that I am going to find structure with this one. And this is already much better than my first 2 takes, which the first one had no audio and the second one was about 45 minutes long, which is too long. So it was more worth it for me to refilm it instead of trying to hack out things that didn't work. And this one has better lighting too, so it all worked out for the better. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any ideas of how you think my structure can change, or what you want to hear more, or maybe just different other things that I'm working on that you want me to talk about, I do like, if you go on the blog and you're not from the blog, I do food stuff, I do TV, movies. In the summer I go on gardening, I do workout stuff also, sort of different things. If you want to hear anything different from what this is about, then just give me a shout, drop it in the comments, or leave me a comment on the blog, or send me an email if you want. I have all my social media that's going to pop up later and in the description below. And thanks so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys in the next blog or video that should be coming up soon. Thanks. Bye.